Hey, how are ya? I'm on. I'm running behind. Letting some of our good peoples know that I'm on. Let's jump in. Hi. So things kind of happened tonight. I'm home. I'm chilling. I'm, just trying to relax, trying to find a few things for a customer, trying to sort out a bit of a puzzle I'm working on. And then I get the phone call from my mother. And by the way, I am in pajamas, and they're not really good pajamas. Just was kind of scrambling to get going here. So here's the thing. I get the phone call about, "Oh, I need you to make something for Easter dinner table." Okay. So what she wants is, I don't know where to put stuff right now. What she wants is name tags for place settings for Easter dinner. Okay, that is something I can do. So, there's a couple of different ideas. Yeah, I'm just adjusting myself here because I am not ready for the video. Fresh out of the shower quickly for just a body shower, and then it's like I'm scrambling, I don't know what I'm doing. So, there's a couple of different ways that I can do place settings for a dinner table. There's the, quick and easy. Then there's complicated. Then there's one time use. Then there's, repeat, reusable. And then one of the criteria is they must be still standing up. Of course. Um, yeah, you're right, Evelyn. There's not enough coffee in the plant to deal with her. Anyways, so here's what I came up with tonight while in the shower. Is I have these. You may recognize these kind of things. I have no idea what they're called. Amazon says they're little table number thingies. So essentially, ta-da! There's my solution. So Elaine's tired from shopping. Well, that's fun. So here's kind of the solution. What do you guys think as a starting point? But it's gonna have a little more than this. And then, of course, I have everything buried away. Um, what I'm thinking is essentially have a white circle along with behind it a colored circle that's a little bigger, and it's going to stand, and underneath it, not this one, but one of my nice doilies. I think it's going to look really good. I know it's kind of hard to tell in the video because we're looking straight down at it, but I think this concept's going to work for the name settings. So I'm going to do a sample version tonight just to kind of work out how am I doing this and kind of go from there. So now let's start with a box of dies. So to kind of come up with which dies am I going to use. And I think this solution is going to work because it's reusable, it's cool, it has its, well factor without it being too complicated. I like it being a circle. Now I just got to find a circle here. So I'm just kind of dig through. Doodles are not allowed in the room tonight. So that is pretty much, just double checking the size of the circle. That's pretty much that circle. Okay. If I'm still going to use that. I'm just looking for a bigger circle. That's probably the same size again. Yep. I could do like detailed edge, potentially. Let's see what this looks like. There's all different ideas. Help me out here. Do you like this stitched version that's already on here, or do you want like a more detailed? Let me know. Stitched or detailed? Give me a hand here, guys. I need some help with this, as I'm still digging for dies here. Because I kind of want to go bigger. Like this would be a good size. Or is that too big? I don't know. I'm bouncing. I'm thinking. Figure just pull out some dies and see what I fall into. That's a little smaller. That might be a little nicer to work with. That might work, where it's still the first one with the white. With that. Okay, Evelyn likes bigger. Okay, so we could do those two. So help me out. Stitched or more detailed? Tell me. Stitched or detailed? I have more dies, but it was just these are easy access right now. Because I'm just still digging. Okay, so there's pretty much the equivalent size there. Mix of both. Interesting idea. Okay, so we've got the equivalent sizes for the slightly bigger. One type for male, and one for female. Interesting idea. Okay. If anybody has... So, I kind of have some sizes to play with here. I'll run them both through, and then we'll see what we like better. Now, the hardest part of this project is going to be the font and the writing, on how to put the names. Now, that I'm going to worry about another day. So, but yes, lots to figure out with this little project. Alright, let's just kind of run them through, and then we'll see what we come up with. So the bigger of the two, so how we're going to have, you know, 1 and 1. So the bigger ones are going to be in colored cardstock, while the other ones are going to be white. And in courtesy of our friend Dana, I have a whole box of scrap cardstock here. So I'm just going to look for, we're going to do purple and red, just to kind of play around with it. Alright, and I'm going to also need some white cardstock to do the smaller circles. Yeah, I wasn't really prepared to do this tonight, guys. I got like stuff everywhere here. Alright, let me find a piece of cardstock to be able to pull off the white. There we go. Is that gonna work? That'll do. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what would also help if I had scrap paper to make notes here too. Welcome to me here. Okay, give me a moment. Let me find my notebook. One of my notebooks here. Give me a sec, guys. This is what happens when some people call me and kind of interrupt my rhythm. Because I was kind of in a different rhythm, and then this happened. So there's some scrap paper. There we go. From an old calendar kit that I don't really use so much. Well, the idea that was discussed earlier was she's hoping that these can be reused. So the colors don't really have to make much of a difference, but I guess it helps a little. Let me fudge. I'm gonna like destroy the room before the end of the night at this rate. Because I was not looking to do this tonight. Okay. Pencil. Sharpener. So we're gonna make some quick notes here to kind of work out something. But if anybody ever has made place name holder thingies for tables, I would love to hear about it. Because I've never done this before. It's an easy craft, but I've never done it. Okay. Oh, I'm off camera, sorry. Name. Placeholders. Big. Circle. I can't rate worth crap. Die. Cut. Colored card stock. Smaller white circle. Yes, my handwriting's horrible. Now, I need to measure my dies. Center could be 3D. Make sure the clip don't smoosh it. I don't want to do 3D. I'm going for easy here. Alright, so the bigger circle of this is about 3 inches. So let's see if the other circle is the same size for the bigger. Please be 3 inches. Yep, 3 inches. Okay. So, 3 inch. The smaller is about 2 3/4. It's a little less than that, but to be able to make this math easy, yeah, I'd say 2 3/4, just to be able to have a decent size. 2 3/4. Okay, so we're gonna do some paper cutting so we can get some of these pieces down to size. We're gonna start with the red. Why not? Red's a nice color. And again, this cardstock is courtesy of our friend Anna, which is awesome. She's a great person. She had a team meeting today. I'm like, lucky her. I'm still in early stages of building a team. Alright, so then... yeah, there's a lot of colds going around, guys, because I see some of the chatter in the comments. And yeah, like, I'm trying not to get sick myself. It's like, no, don't get sick. Alright, so there is one of the whites. And then grab another white here. Oh, it's not cutting very well. It will. I'm using a really dull blade, so that's why it's cutting pretty bad. I need to find my pack of blades, which are hidden. So I can put a new blade on here, because this one's really dulled out. Or I gotta order some more. We'll see. Okay, so we're gonna die cut here, so we can kind of see how all this looks. And then, so the weather here, we suddenly had a mild day. Yay! Except we're gonna get rain. Rain's never fun. Alright, I'm just grabbing my die cut plates here, so I can kind of quickly run these together. So what's nice is I can probably run both at once. So the red is the stitched that we're going for. I'm just looking for my other die. Today was 18 degrees Celsius. I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, so don't ask me. Alright, so here we go. We're going to run the first round first, so we can just see what it looks like. Hope this looks good. So other than, you know, the effort of die cutting, it's relatively easy to cut these things. And my plates are super warped, by the way. I mean, this is warped. I gotta figure out how to warp it back. Alright. So here is the stitched, which I just threw. The stitched one, okay. Here is the stitched color. Now let's do the purple and see how the purple fares any different. Oh, apparently some of these are Sizzix. These old dies from wherever they're from. Yeah, I heard tonight in our area is rain and thunderstorms too, so oh boy. Alright, come on, guys. Move my lighting a little bit. Alright. Okay, let's hope these turned out, because I don't want to have to recut them. Okay, so... oh, they're cute. Look how cute that is. These ones are messier. Alright, so I'm just going to put the plates aside for now, because we're not going to get too super detailed into them. Alright, let me just clean up a little bit here. Alright, so let me put the die cut machine aside. So let's just see how this looks. Alright, so there's our two. Now let's, for some reason, this just looks too busy, eh? What do you guys think? Or do I swap it for a different circle. Help me out here. Too busy, or better with a circle? Let me know. Or let me just swap here. Yeah, they're nice dies. Or does that look better? Okay, help me out. Roundies or that? Okay, I gotta repeat again because I gotta wait for the lag. We got option A or option B for the purple. You guys gotta tell me. Okay, so I need to run that die again. Yeah, I think you gave me those two, Elaine. Okay, so everyone's going for this. Yeah, it just looks better for some reason. Because this otherwise, or... Let me know what you guys think of that. This doesn't look right. Yeah, it looks too busy. Thank you. Okay, option B. Excellent. Thank you, guys. I'm just going to run another one of this while I still can. Once I find a piece of white that I had earlier. Yeah, I agree. It looks better, too. All right, let me run it again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's why I'm glad I'm doing this on video, so I can kind of work out the details. So let me run it one more time just to get another one of those whites. It was a nice idea to do that edging twice, but it just looked too busy. Alright, one more die cut round. So at least I can put it together and see how it's going to work. Just give me a short to... I gotta clear my dies plates quickly. I don't care if I get these everywhere. I know it's like scratching things. Oh, I just scratched my nail too while I'm at it. Alright, I think I cleared those. So let's run that one more time. Where's my die? I'm hiding my own dies. There she is. It's going to be a really tight fit on this one. Because that piece of paper is a little hair small, but we're still going to roll with it. Really, it's just the planning stage as we're trying to work through this. Okay, we got our circle. All right. I know I make a lot of noise. Okay, so there we go. So what I'm thinking is more or less like that. Now, my query is, this has a feminine look that we're going for, but do you think the masculine would work with this too, or would the masculine work better with that, or just having a bit of both? Let me know. Where's my adhesive? So I'm just going to glue them down, because we're still experimenting with the concept. I know I'm slightly off camera. Sorry. Since I changed the room, I'm all confused on where's the camera, what am I doing? There we go. So, just to see the concept, there's one. I do have more of these. Let me grab the second one. Because I went into my event box and pulled these out, because I usually use these for events, for my price tags. Which would actually be cool if I made price tags like this. So, let me put something behind it. That way, we're not looking at my busy table. Let me know what you think. If they all should be one version or a combination of both. For some reason, this one, maybe the die needs to be a little smaller, maybe? Plain for male, okay. Alright, so question for you is, do you think this one needs to be, this white needs to be a little smaller? Let me know. Or is it just perfect that way? Let me know your input. Okay, generally we're going for the combo. I like that. That way there's a little bit of variety. I'm just going to poke through the holes on that die to clean it up. Well, we ponder on this for a few minutes. Yes, a tad smaller on the white. I do agree. Okay, so I'm going to dive back into the box of dies in a moment. I'm just going to clean up some of these. Alright, so then this die, that was the smaller of the edges. We're going to put off to the side. We're going to pull this. I am going to pull this off because it hasn't gotten too stuck on there yet. Yeah, I do agree. It needs to be a little tad smaller, eh? Okay. So let's find a little tad smaller of that die. Like, this is a lot smaller. Here's a question here. Tell me if this would work with the original size I had. I'll just wait a quick moment, because I think that might just do. That circle, which I might as well start digging for that die anyway. I might as well. I see them. That's the one. Yeah, let me know if that will work. Interesting, but you sneeze and 4 or 5 cats jump. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going for that one. Okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense, because it just looked a little better. Alright, so let's glue that on. And then let's stick this on. Okay, everyone's... Okay, we got one scissor happy with it, one scissor too small. Okay. Alright, let me ponder then. I just don't know if I have an in-between. You know what I mean? Because I think that literally is the next size down. I'm back and forth on this. Maybe I'll just keep it consistent with the same size. How's that? As we're making this more complicated. Alright, we'll just keep it consistent. Okay. Anyways. So, the real big puzzle I'm going to have is, how do I write the name? At least we got plenty of space that we can write something. You know what? This concept will actually really make great for price holders for my events too. So there we go. Win for win tonight. So this is actually a good project. Alrighty. So I want to write a name. And a light yellow. Yeah, but that might be too light. Remember, we've got different people, different ages at the dinner table. They gotta be able to see. But maybe match the color to the piece of cardstock, maybe? That might be fun. So... I'm not using yellow. That's just too out there. Okay, Elaine's happy with this. We're gonna roll with it. Alright, I'm just trying to think. I want to do a sample name. Ooh. I'm getting an idea. Would something like this be too busy, guys? Help me out here. Now, pretend it's the same white here, okay? Roll with me. Pretend it's the same white. But would that work? Or I'm getting another idea. What if instead of white, we did a different color, and then this goes on top? Okay, Elaine likes the color match. Nice, but not white. Okay. I'm getting ideas. Okay, I'm getting ideas. Alright. Let's dig into a bag of goodies here. So let's see what we can find for red and purple. That is designer series paper. Now I'm just digging through random. Okay, Lane doesn't like the idea. We're making it more harder and complicated, but it's what I do. Okay. I'm looking for a purple. I don't know. I have to look through some more paper. Like I see, I was not prepared for this tonight, guys. Alright, just give me a short to find some quick paper. I want to find some sort of purple. There, we're going to roll with that. Because I have an idea. Label too much? Okay. Well, let's think this. Let me just try this idea for a few minutes. Because I'm on to something here. Actually, I'll just use some of this. Roll with me here. Okay, I'll just use that. Okay, let me just die cut these out and see if this is going to work. And then if not, we can move on. So welcome to how you struggle to plan a craft. Literally, that's what tonight's all about here. Smaller label maybe, but not white on white. Okay, I have two options here we can roll with. Let me just die cut these pieces out, and I'll just flip them over. That way we can kind of play around here. Because I'm trying to also maximize what I have access to anyway. Because you never know, might be able to come across a good concept here. Oof. Yeah, well, you know me. You know I'm going to overthink it anyway. Alright. So let's put some of this aside again. Alright, so let's just pretend for a moment. Let's just flip to the back side. Roll with me here. Let me know what you think of this as a concept. Then we're going to pretend these are glued down, which they're not. So just roll with me. As I'm kind of accidentally ripping stuff here, but... Okay, Evelyn's getting the idea. So, we could have that. Or we could have that. Actually, let's go the other way. Let me know what you kind of think of that as an idea. Or is it too big? Or maybe not the right shape. Okay? A, B, or C, not the right shape of the rectangle. Let me look for another shape here. So I think I have a little one in this bundle here. Okay. Evelyn's liking A. The only problem with A is it's like a hair too big. I would say. Let me just see this size for a moment. Well, that's pretty much the same size. Okay. Okay, that's pretty much the same size. Okay, everyone's liking the small, so we're just going to get rid of B. Okay. Well, we'll keep that, but... Alright. Let me just see if I have anything a little smaller here, because I think there was a little guy in here. So go even smaller, kind of thing, potentially. I can go, like, really small. I just saw it. Okay, here's really small, but that's just too small. People gotta be able to read here. Ooh, I got something here. Well, that's too small. Let me just pull everything out of the bag. Then we'll just start throwing things back in. Alright, let me look through some dies. I even have a beautiful heart, but that's not for today. I also have this. Got a couple different things here, but let me just cleanse. So we're liking the small. Okay. Yeah, just give me a good couple minutes to... Because I swear there was a smaller, but maybe I'm mixed up with something else. I really should organize these, eh? And put them into different packets. That's a future project. Remind me. Sieve them all in one heap here. Might be more beneficial to... Actually, that might have been the small one I'm looking at here. Oh, this one you guys can't see it. Okay. So we're liking the small. Okay, we're liking that small. So that small is from a different set. But it's... Shoot. I'm throwing dies everywhere. That's why dogs are not... But it's very similar to this size. The only difference is this other one is slightly longer. But no, I like the size of this one. So let's just do it. Let me find that die. I gotta figure where that die is. Hold on, I'm making a mess here. Alright, this I'm not going to use. That it's similar, but not the same. Okay, so we like small label. Let's go with the small. I don't need this die. Keep it plain, not busy. Yeah, no, I do agree. I do agree. But I think just putting a cardstock DSP in a label just kind of makes it a little more special. Alright, let me pull that die set. It's actually a Stampin' Up! One for a change. That one I used. But I gotta pull it. Because I was not ready to look for it. Okay. Yeah, I'm fighting with my own nerve. It was from this. It was that one. This is from Textured Notes Dies, and I think these are still on the Stampin' Up! Website. Okay, well, congrats, Evelyn. Alright, so let me just run that piece through again. Because I gotta figure out the concept tonight, or else this is really gonna drive me nuts. Okay, I've got some scrap weights here. There we go. Let me run that through. And see if that's gonna work. That way I can glue them both down, so we can see, is this gonna really work? And what's good is, if I do go with that rectangle, I could, if I really want to, I can print from the computer the labels, but I might not. I don't know yet. Alright. There. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fix some of this we got going on here. So there's a second one of these. Good to go. I like this it's a different stitching, but I really like it. Alright, let's get back to these. I'm going to pull off these whites. Because they're not doing me. Actually, let me not totally ruin them yet. In case I change my mind, I want to use them again. Alright. So then that's the colored. Let me glue that down. Okay. Then let's do this one too. Yeah, I think that's looking a lot better. Yeah, I'm just pulling these off because I'm not gonna use them right now. And put that down. Okay. And then, so, let's just see this again. Oh, yeah. Going the wrong way here. Alright. So here we are. So then, question. Dimensionals or no dimensionals for the white? Because if I'm going to use dimensionals, I'd have to write the name ahead of time. Let me know what you think. Dimensionals or no dimensionals? And then for the writing, I'm just going to grab a pack of pencils. Because I'm a pencil kitty. I gotta reach them. I'll try to show you my butt. Okay, dimensionals. Alright, we'll try one with dimensionals. But let me go get some pencils. Because I gotta write on them first before we glue them down. Alright. Oh, interesting. We got conflicting votes. Okay, what I'll do is I'll do one each. How's that? So we can see the difference. Okay, let's do one each, and then we'll decide. Okay, so here's a red, I think, and here's a purple. See, I like pencils. Pencils kind of has that playfulness to it. Alright, so we'll do one in my name. And the other one, I'll just do my brother's name. How's that? In case this works. Alright. So here is my attempt to do writing here. And I can always darken it up. Yeah, so I'll do one with dimensionals, one without. So there's my name. Alright, and I'll do my brother's name. So I have a quiz for you both as I'm writing the names. Does my name get dimensionals or does my brother's name get dimensionals? Let me know. There's my horrible attempt at my brother's name. Yeah, just mucking with the idea. I'm going to pull these off because it'll make it easier to glue them down. I'll still, let me play with his name a little more. course, I'm making it worse, but roll with me here. Let me play with my name a little more. Female only. Okay. Alright, I'll just leave that as is. Okay. Alright, I'll do my name in dimensionals. How's that? I gotta find my dimensionals. I mean, this is just a draft, and it's my own name tag anyway, so it could turn out nice. Alright, so here we go. So there's one with dimensionals, which I think it actually looks good with dimensionals. Okay, here. Hold on. There. What do you guys think? Okay, I'll still do the other one without. Why not? It's a test run. Unless you're going to yell at me and say, do the other one dimensionals too. See, you know what? It looks better with dimensionals. I can already see that right now. Let's just do it. Dimensionals. And yes, there is more things we can do with these. Yes, we can stick a die cut or something sticking out of it, potentially. So my query for all of you is, here we are with more or less what could be the final versions. The edging on this one just looks so much nicer than the plain, but then again, I don't know. So let me know what you guys think, as I'm kind of... So here we go. That's my name. That's my brother's name. I still feel like the masculine one could benefit from that edge, I think. I just think it would just pop more, you know what I mean, versus the bland one. That's just my opinion. Anyways, but we're not done yet. I have more to do here. I have another plan to go with this concept. So I need 2 pieces of paper. I'm just going to dig through my collection of stuff. And I'm trying to not find paper that may or may not belong to me. Okay. We'll just use those for now. So tonight we're bringing in the doily hole punch. Now I gotta stand up to do this, so you're gonna see my boobs, but whatever. Because I gotta do it standing. Now, I haven't done this tool in a little while, so I'm a little out of practice on it, guys. I'm going to get rid of the die cut circles that are got adhesive on them, because I can't really use them because they're already sticky. Alrighty, so let's just see if I can kind of make this work tonight. So I'm a little out of practice on this. Alright, here we go. I need to practice anyway, so there we go. So it does shift out a little bit, but I've kind of had to learn to, you know, roll with it. So essentially, sometimes just reline up. And then just try again. But I already punched that side, so hold on. I'm having some challenges here. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, we're getting the hang of it. So what I'll do is, at the end of the video, I'll post online what this concept looks like, with the doily and everything too. Because I think it's going to work. Because whoever gets green could get this doily, for example. It's going to be a little off, though, because I can see it. Yeah, I'm having trouble turning it. Give me a bit. Yeah, it takes getting the hang of it. Because the magnet has to be in like the perfect spot to get the turn properly. Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't turn well. Really, just keep relining it up. As I got stuff falling over in here. I gotta go to bed soon. Pretty good. It's not perfect, but it still turned out quite nicely. Alright, one doily done, and I'm going to do a second one tonight. Because we're already here. Yeah, it's the part where it doesn't turn well. Sometimes it just gets out of its spot. Yeah, because it got knocked out there. And yes, my phone's telling me to go to bed. Hold your horses. So I'm just trying to get this to line up properly. Sometimes just keep playing with the magnet. Not bad. It's as close as we're going to get right now. It's going to be a little off. But also makes each doily beautifully imperfect too, where they're not all super identical. That they're all going to have a little bit of flex to it of different, slightly different imperfections. That's where I'm just going to roll with how this one is. Sometimes just kind of let things land where they go. And then now I'm like really rocking through this one, eh? There we go. There's our doilies. So this one's got a slight imperfection to it, but that's okay. Alright, so that was fun. Now, I gotta sit. I'm tired. Okay, let me clean up. Look at all my confetti. If you ever need confetti. Alright, just gonna clean up a little. Alrighty, I'm just gonna grab a piece of paper to get rid of the confetti. This doily maker, I never would have bought it myself, but my spouse convinced me you gotta get it, and I'm like, okay, fine. And it's like one of my favorite tools. Yeah, just clean up the desk a little bit from all the little bits of paper. There we go. Alright, so let's just finish this up for the night. Then we gotta definitely call it a night. Where's my scissors hiding? Yeah, I'll just get rid of these pieces. Okay, and then the other one. Same idea. This one turned out better actually, but it also was struggling to come out too, this one. Alright, so now you can kind of see on camera what we're going with. Ta-da! As a concept. And then use for shaker cards. Yeah, I very well could. I have too many bags of those, so I kind of had to get rid of some. So I'm just going to take a picture and let me not have certain things in view of the desk. Actually, it would help if my desk doesn't look as busy. Hold on. Let me do the proper picture before we go. We're give a bit of a blank section here to kind of roll with this. Because I'll post these after the video and see what you guys think of a potential, you know. Fine, the green doesn't go with the purple, but it was just trying to come up with something here. There we go. I've got my pictures. We're good to go. Alrighty. So with that, friends, thank you. I appreciate your help, and this took a little longer than even I intended. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to go for night because I got to go to bed. But this turned out quite beautifully, so I think this will work. At least I got a concept I can play with and ponder on it and, you know, play around. So, have a great night, everyone. And yeah, like I said at the top of the video, if you've ever done placeholder type thingies, I would love to know how you make them. Do you do something different? Do you do more of a 3D thing? A little more arts and crafty? I know it took us a long time to get this far, but it still turned out really nice. Alright, everyone. Bye for now.